Then, why do we use this counter? We specify class of what we are talking about. The 학생 is classified into people, person category. So we specify the category of the noun in this way. That is Korean way. Let's say 6 dogs. 6 dogs, different category. In this case, 학생 is in the category of people, but dog is category of animal. So we have a counter for animal. Do you remember the word dog in Korean? 개. And then we have to specify the number 6. So what is 6? Yes. And the counter for animal is 말이. You have to memorize those counters. Counter for people, 명. Counter for animal, 말이. 개 6마리. 개 6마리. Okay. Let me give you another example. Like 7 books. Let's say textbooks. The book is one category too. So textbook. What was the word textbook? 교과서. 교과서. And we have to specify the number with native Korean number. So 7, 7, 7. And the counter for books is 권. Yeah, 권. So 교과서 7권. Then how many categories do we have? There are numerous numbers of things in the world, but people, animal, and books. There are lots of counters in Korean. Even I don't know every counter. But there is just general counter, like desks and chairs, and there is no specific counter for those kind of furniture. There might be in the past, but in these days we don't really specify desks or chairs with specific counter. For general items, we use this counter 개. 개 means just item. Just 7 items of something like that. So let's say 8 desks. 8 desks. What was desk? 책상이죠, 책상. 책상 8. 8. 개. 책상 8개. 8 desks. Right? So if you don't know specific counter for something, then just 개 works fine. And just remember, you don't use 개 for animate beings like people or animal. If you say 개 for 학생 5개, it sounds really weird. Or 개 6개, it's not possible. But for other just inanimate items, you can use 개. It's very kind of general. Even class. So I have one class today. So 한 개 is a 개. Okay, so I gave you examples of 5 people, 5 students, 6 dogs, 7 textbooks, 8 desks. So you may have felt a little weird why I'm giving you guys these examples from 5, not from the first. That is because when we count something, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, we use 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷 when we count something. But when we specify something with this number, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, those 4 numbers, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, they change their form before a counter. How do they change their form? 하나 changes to 한. So one person, 한 명, 이렇게 돼요, 한 명. And 둘 changes to 2. 셋, 넷. So let's change the numbers here. So let's say one student. So how do you say this? 학생 하나 명, it's not work. Like 한 명, 학생 한 명, so one student, one student. And two dogs, okay, just replace 여섯 with 둘. No, we have to change its form before a counter like 말이. Okay, 두 마리. Okay, 두 마리. And let's say three textbooks. 교과서 3. 3 is 셋, but before counter it changes its form like 셋. Right? And 책상. 4 desks. 책상 넷. No, we change its form to 네 개. 한, 둘, 셋, 넷. So before counter we change their forms in this way. So 한, 둘, 셋, 넷. 한 명, 두 마리, 세 번, 네 개. Something like this. So far, okay? Okay. Except for 한, 둘, 셋, 넷, there's one more number that changes its form before a counter, which is 20. 20. What was 20? 스물, 그렇죠? 스물. But before a counter, we change it to its form, 스무. So 20 students. How do we say 20 students in Korean? 학생. 스무. 학생 스무. Then let's make some sentences. Like 책상에 책이 있어요. So you know this kind of sentence, right? 책상 위에 specify 책상 위에 책이 있어. So there is a book on the desk, right? But I want to specify number of books on the desk. So let's say there are 2 books on the desk. Now how do you say this? 책상 위에 책이 2 books. How do you say? We have to specify what we are talking about first. 책. And this particle goes like 책이. And then just add number information here. 2 books. So 2. And what was the counter for books? 1. 2, 1. 있어요. 책상 위에 책이 2번 있어요. I have 2 younger sisters. Let's say something like that. I have younger sister. Then 저는 동생이 여동생 younger sister. 여동생이 있어요. You want to specify the number of your younger sisters. So you have 2 younger sisters. 저는 so you just specify what you are talking about. 여동생이 so far same. And then just add number information here. 2명 있어요. Does it make sense? You want to ask how many younger siblings does other person have? 여동생이 instead of 2명, you want to ask the number of younger sisters. 여동생이 몇 명 있어요? 여동생이 몇 명 있어요? 몇 명 있어요? And question mark. 여동생이 몇 명 있어요? 저는 여동생이 한 명 있어요. 저는 여동생이 2명 있어요. 언니가 몇 명 있어요? 언니가 몇 명 있어요? 저는 언니가 한 명 있어요. 2명 있어요. 3명 있어요. You can answer that way. Okay. Counting something in Korean is kind of complicated. And I just introduced you to how to count something or some people the very basics. We have some other examples, but we will talk about it later. Before we end today's lesson, I have to talk about this. 몇 살이에요? 몇 살이에요? 몇 살이에요? 살 is counter for age. So specifically we have to say 나이가 몇 살이에요? We have to say it this way. But 살 is counter for age. So even though you don't say 나이가, it's understandable. 몇 살이에요? Then, how old are you? 몇 살이에요? Let's say you are 19. 저는 나이가, so you are specifying what you are talking about. And let's say 19. What is 19? 19, 10, 9. 19. And counter for age is 살이에요. I am 19. But as I said, 살 is counter for age, so you don't really have to say this. 저는 19살이에요. Is it okay? And any of you are 20 now? 저는 나이가, but I'm not going to repeat 나이 this time. 저는 20 years old. Then 스물. But before counter, we just use 스무, this form. 20살이에요. Okay, does it make sense? Any of you are 21, right? 21 years old. Then 저는, what is 21? 스물하나. 이거든요. 스물하나. But 하나 should be changed its form like this. 한 살이에요. Remember this form. 스물한살. 스물 does not change. Just right before this counter, 스물 changes to 스무, but in this case, it's not right before the counter. So 스물 keeps original form, but 하나 changes its form before this counter. 21살이에요. I'm 21 years old. If you are 22, 22살. 예, 23살이에요. It goes something like this. Okay, so we talked about how to count people. What counter do we use for people? 명. And animals, 마리. And books, 권. And just general item like desks and chairs and those kind of thing, 개. And age, 살. Okay, we learned quite a lot of counters today. But we have more, so we'll practice more in class. 감사합니다.